Well, I'm willing to bet something like this has happened to you. You're out, surfing the net, you're on YouTube or whatever, and you get sort of suckered into one of these clickbait titles or a listicle title on an article, and you click on it, you go to the content, and it's completely disappointing. It's seeming to become more and more prevalent, especially with the guitar lessons and the guitar videos that are online. When it happens to you and you get one of these really mediocre lessons, it's frustrating to say the least. Now, first of all, if you're unfamiliar with these terms, clickbait is a internet tactic, basically, where you have a headline or even possibly imagery to promote a topic, really whose main purpose is not so much the great content that's going to be there, because usually it's not great. It's just to attract attention and encourage someone to click on the link to some kind of particular web page. Now, listicles is kind of a nickname, internet nickname, and it means articles or content that you're going to see presented entirely in the form of a list. Now, sometimes some of this clickbait stuff is going to be good. A lot of times it's a complete waste of your time there. So this week, what we're going to do on the Guitar Blog Insider is we're going to be discussing whether or not clickbait is ruining online guitar lessons. Let me get started here with me sort of explaining myself as to why I'm making a video about clickbait guitar lessons. It's kind of an odd topic, isn't it? Well, you know what? Let me explain this further. As many of you probably know, I'm a regular contributor to ultimateguitar.com. It's one of the major guitar lessons websites out there. They get, I don't know, like 64 million visitors a month. It's a big one. And, the last time I used their upload web app page to get my content to their servers, I saw a notice that they've recently placed on their upload page saying, no clickbait titles. It made me start to think to myself about how prevalent this practice of all these different lists and clickbait ideas is becoming all over the web with guitar. And it seems to be getting really hardcore with guitar lesson stuff. And, I got to admit, it's something that, I've been doing too. I'm guilty of it myself. It does get clicks. But, when I look at it stepping back in the big picture, it's almost like this clickbait title stuff is becoming an online epidemic with guitar lessons. So let's discuss clickbait a little bit here. Clickbait seems to be the direct result of where a lot of YouTubers and, guitar web-based content seems to be heading these days. People might think or say that they want serious content, serious guitar lessons, thoughtful insight about music and all that, but their actions and the flood of internet clickbait content seems to be saying something different. Instead of solid guitar lessons presented with well-planned material, maybe even handouts, MP3 jam tracks, all that kind of stuff, we're instead seeing a flood of guitar videos that are more like mindless, effortless fluff and, more on the entertainment side of things, with titles that you'll see there. I'll make a few up, something like, the note that'll change your life or something like that, or some other clickbait title you'll see that's, they always have the word secret something in it, like the secret technique to master the blues in, 3 days or 3 minutes or something. So, then when you watch these videos, regardless of the title, you watch them, and it's good for maybe a laugh or two if it's one of these joke style guitar lesson thing or guitar video. It's not a lesson, I guess. Perhaps you've wanted to watch the lesson too, because, and this is what's happened to me, is because you want to get to the bottom of where the lesson is actually going when it's sort of leading you somewhere in this title and you just have no idea. It's really confusing. You don't even know what the lesson is about. So, aside from the entertainment factor, maybe there's often just mediocre lessons there with no follow-up material. And maybe even, sadly enough, there's almost pretty much no guitar lesson there at all with some of these. So let's talk about internet guitar teachers, what it's like, what the direction is. And, having worked with a lot of great guitar players and a lot of great guitar teachers over the years, I can tell you that teachers who are heavy into teaching enjoy creating really solid lesson content. That's what it's all about for them. And I personally have a fun week every week creating all the lessons and the content that I post on YouTube for free and also in my members area of the website at Creative Guitar Studio. So let's face it, we're in this kind of new era of online guitar lessons. You got people you're dealing with from all over the world. You got courses out there. There's great teachers. There's mediocre teachers. There's lousy teachers. And a part of this whole new experience for the teachers and for the viewers and the students is about learning new ways that content can interact. And from the teacher's standpoint, it's the delivery of that content to their subscribers. Now, regardless of the clickbait titles and all that stuff, guitar teachers that are dedicated to quality want to deliver a lot of detail that the student can both dig into and absorb and also fully understand. So that means the teacher has to be effective. Now, this also means that the feedback with an online teacher and the connections an online teacher builds with their audience every day is really important. You know, on my website, people can contact me, they can phone me, they can email me, and I get back to them usually within a few hours. And I do that with people all over the world. That connection, though, that we're building needs to be there. And if it isn't, if it's all fluff and if it's all entertainment, then, you know, people realize that, oh, these guitar teachers are kind of a joke and they do really stupid things and they put on, you know, dumb costumes and roll around on the floor and all that stuff. But then there's these other teachers who are serious and they really deliver solid material. So there's a connection that has to happen there from the teacher to the student. It's going to be either about entertainment or it's going to be about solid learning. So the element is really coming back down to quality content. And there's an old internet saying that goes, content is king. So, you know, whether we're looking at this in terms of just clickbait and these goofy titles where you don't even have time to know what it's about, or maybe it's those list titles. We haven't really mentioned those yet. You know, those lists out there, you know, something like you'll see 3 unknown pentatonic tricks plus a secret trick that no one knows, or, you know, something like that. It's kind of funny. But the main factor when it all comes down to it is when we're looking at the lessons online, and especially this is valuable too, if you are a teacher or you're planning to get out there to be a teacher on the internet. Everything in what I've seen of doing this since 2007, that's when I started online lessons, everything I've seen really does boil down to overall content. And students who are going to get invested with you want good information. That's going to be also taught well, demonstrated well. And, you know, they want information that makes practical sense with good follow-up materials. And I know this for a fact because of all the communication I've had with people through email and even people that have phoned me too, because I get a lot of phone calls into the office through the day from people all over the place. And, you know, a lot of these people, they're sick of the goofy lessons and all the stupid posts out there that, you know, week after week kind of go through the same old kind of stuff all the time. You know, you see week after week some of the guitar teachers out there just predictable lessons, you know, pentatonic scale and another pentatonic scale and all this stuff. A lot of them don't really seem very well planned, and, you know, that can be a turnoff to viewers as well. You want something that's going to contain value, you know, going to have insight for people who are watching. And of course there is the fluff, and there's always going to be the entertainment and all that, because that can sometimes be good too. Sometimes we all need a good laugh. But, you know, if you're looking at this as a long-term career, you know, more often than not, what a student wants is a great guitar lesson with some follow-up material. Clickbait, you know, or no clickbait, or lists or no lists. In the bottom line of it all, a student wants a really good lesson that they can understand. Anyway, you know what? I'd be really interested in hearing your thoughts on all this in the comments section below, even if you want to list some of the worst offenders of clickbait titles out there. And I'd be interested in just really hearing what you guys have to say about all this. So thanks again for your time. We'll catch up with you next week on my other channel for another episode of the Guitar Blog Insider. Until then, thank you, and I'll see you on the next video.